Hello and welcome back to another edition of Saint Spotlight. Today we are joined by Kayla Steltenkamp and member of the Thomas More Education Department here. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition. Would you mind sharing with the audience what you do here at Thomas More and everything that you have under your many portfolios of titles?
Sure. I am a faculty member in the School of Education. I work primarily with our students and preparing them in the world of special needs and special education. I also teach the literacy coursework within the elementary program. I help with some of the student teaching, and I go out and observe our practicum students. And I recently have begun co-chairing our first year experience coursework here.
Right on. Now, can you explain the goals of the Dyslexia Institute and what makes it unique here at Thomas More?
Sure. So the Dyslexia Institute was an idea that I think is really going to help move us forward as a university, but also a great opportunity for our community. It is a lot of the work that we are currently doing within our courses and within our School of Education, but a way to really reach out and let the community know what we're doing, but provide resources. So our goal is to establish a center for our community and for our students where they can be trained on how to identify students with dyslexia. They can learn the interventions that are needed to help teach students with dyslexia, help current teachers out in the field who might need some additional information or training on identifying or giving interventions for our students. And then for parents in our community as well, they are always looking for resources, and so it can be a hub of information where we can give them, I keep saying information, but it can be a hub where they can come find additional resources that they might need to help their own students. And finally, for people that may have dyslexia that live in our state that are looking for a university to attend, we already have some really great supports here at our college and university. So it could be a way that they could think about a university to come to that they could support.
Right on. Now, how does the Institute fit into the School of Education's VILA programming?
The VILA program is a phenomenal new initiative that we've started, and it's kind of an umbrella that really helps to look at all of the different ways that we can prepare our pre-service teachers to be the best when they go out in the field. So the Dyslexia Institute really helps focus on those literacy coursework and the needs that they have to identify and support students with dyslexia. But it also feeds into the professional development suite that we have under the VILA, because we will be providing training to teachers that are currently in schools. And we also have the honors program as part of our VILA Institute. And so we hope that some of our students who are in the honors program can get some unique opportunities out in the field to work with students with dyslexia. And then there's other programs in the VILA Institute that we plan to launch in the future, like the STEM Institute and some graduate programs. And a lot of students that have dyslexia are super creative, so the STEM Institute would be a great way for some of our teachers to learn techniques about science and technology and engineering that a lot of dyslexics might be a strength of theirs. So they all kind of work very well together within the VILA umbrella, and we see them collaborating often through the different programs.
Right on. Now, how will education students be involved with the Dyslexia Institute? I know you mentioned earlier in the sense of bringing some in through the programs, but how exactly are they going to be involved with it?
A lot of our literacy coursework we have currently realigned. There's legislation happening and the reading wars are always happening, and we have looked at our coursework in the elementary level to help kind of redesign to best practices of teaching language and literacy. So the students will be involved in understanding the structure of language and literacy so that they will be able to teach any student, but especially those with dyslexia. And then we also have additional coursework where they can practice assessing students, and we have students from the community that come in, and our students here do the assessments. They write them up. They have to articulate the results to the parents and say, do they have, could they possibly have characteristics of dyslexia? So our students are very much involved in learning the skills that they need to identify and to support students with dyslexia. And then hopefully they can also be involved with providing some of those trainings and resources to the parents. And even when they go out into their practicums and they're working with their mentor teachers, they can share the information that they're learning with them. So we really see it as kind of branching out from here. But our students at Thomas More will be very heavily involved in the learning and the sharing of what we do.
Now, how will the outside community benefit from the Institute?
I think in several ways. One of the things is we'll have different events or professional learning opportunities where they can come in and learn more that they want, maybe about their students or about their own children. We're going to have some opportunities for assessment. So if they suspect their child has dyslexia, we have some times where some of our students need practice assessing, and so we can partner those opportunities together so that they can bring in some of their concerns and we can have those discussions with them. And then also some resources. So if they have a student that was just identified as dyslexic and they're not really sure the next steps to do, we will have a website that will have some information, and we'll have some opportunities for consultation so that they can come in and talk to me or some of our students and get some ideas about some next steps or things that they can consider to do to help their child. And then in terms of teachers or other professionals in the area, they can also get resources about dyslexia from the Institute. So we will prepare students, but will also be a resource for the community at large.
It sounds like it will be. It's a great beacon of help that you guys are building up to service to not just the students here, but the community as well. Now, how will the Dyslexia Institute intertwine with the ways of the Institute for Learning Differences?
Yeah, one of the big, I think, draws when we were trying to think of some ideas and initiatives within the Villa Institute, and dyslexia is a passion of mine, so of course that was an easy one. I was like, yeah, let's do this. I had to think about, if we had a Dyslexia Institute, what are the different ways that could be perceived in our community? And one of the ways I thought about was, if a student or a person is looking to attend a college and they have dyslexia, they might think, oh, they've got a Dyslexia Institute, so I'll go there. Our Dyslexia Institute won't be necessarily directly supporting our students that have dyslexia that are majoring in something else. So if you have dyslexia and you want to get a business degree or you want to get an accounting degree, we have the Dyslexia Institute, but that's not necessarily a direct support for college students with dyslexia to be successful in their courses. But our university already has something that does. So the Institute for Learning Differences is already in place here. It's well established. It's been here for years. It's a well-oiled machine. And so that to me was a great opportunity. If we launch the Dyslexia Institute, that we could also have that as a sort of a pillar or a collaborative opportunity, so that if a student that's getting ready to graduate from high school has dyslexia, doesn't really know the next steps, we already have this well-established program in place. There's no piloting. It's there. It's ready to go. And so they could come and enroll in the Institute for Learning Differences and get support to help them in whatever major that they're looking at